Hello viewers, Marianne here from Revealing Light Tarot, Astrology and Spirituality. Thank you for the support of this channel and for all your comments in my last video. They are very welcome and thank you for taking the time to hit that like button and also to subscribe to the channel because that's how it grows. I wanted to read again, obviously this is the time to be reading on the former US President Donald Trump. There is a breaking story overnight in the Washington Post where there is further evidence. Jack Smith, the special counsel, and DOJ have gathered further evidence, apparently, according to insiders, of obstruction, Trump's obstruction when handing those classified documents back. There's a direct line now which shows that, or apparently there's a direct line which shows that Trump actually did try, allegedly, and obstruct the movements by the government to rightfully take those classified documents back. But it goes a step further. There's a paragraph there that I just want to read to you. So, obstruction of justice was always the next cab off the rank that I felt. But we all read on things like, did he try and sell these documents? Was there any espionage that was involved? And I felt, yes, that the charge would definitely be obstruction of justice when it came to those classified documents. I think there is a very strong case. However, when it came to espionage, the jury was a little bit out there for me. I wasn't quite sure. But knowing Trump the way we know him, wouldn't he try? And if he could sell something, wouldn't he sell it? So this is from the Washington Post today. And the crux of why Trump might have wanted to keep the classified documents apart from that egoistic, they're mine type of mentality, which isn't divorced from I can make money from this. As investigators, this is a direct quote, as investigators piece together what happened in May and June of last year, they have been asking witnesses if Trump showed classified documents, including maps, to political donors. People familiar with these conversations said. Now, I've gifted that article. If you want to read it, it's on my Facebook page and Mastodon and Post News. If you want to read that article is there without a paywall for you to read. So, as we're gearing up for an arraignment tomorrow in New York, in the Manhattan DA's case, of which we do not know what is in that indictment and those 34 counts. We don't know what's in there. So, commentators saying it's a travesty of justice. Well, you don't know what's in the indictment. So, anyway, we can see the kind of ignorance that's there around the process of the law, and it's not a political process, is the bottom line, that Trump allies and Trump supporters will find out. It's not a political process. It is a legal process. So going back to the special counsel's matter, I want to know if this is the next domino that is likely to fall. I suggested in my last reading that we would see further indictments come over the next couple of months. And that's there if you want to have a look at it. So let's have a look. So we'll revisit and we'll update. Ooh, 7 of Wands, having to defend himself, stand his ground. I'm using the Tarot Luna Somnia for those who are interested in my decks. There's something very fragmented around this card. There's no continuity at all. It's like something's just been thrown up in the air and everything is falling down where it may. My question, will further dominoes fall? Let's have a look. Will Trump be charged with obstruction of justice in relation to the top secret classified documents? Will Trump be charged? So I'm seeing someone putting a globe, the world, you know, those globe things, away into a cupboard, the world into a cupboard. So we've got the Page of Wands. So looks like there is at least one charge, and we're going to hear about it. As I said, it's coming soon. And the Nine of Wands. Why are we going to hear about it? Because we need to put guardrails and barriers up. And for those who are asking, well, did Biden do the same thing? No, not even remotely similar. Biden didn't obstruct the efforts to take those documents back. And the nature of classified documents, for example, were the security arrangements for his son's funeral. So you cannot compare that to the number, the amount, and the classification of documents Trump had. So there's a need to put the guardrails up. This can't be left. Regardless of what Lindsey Graham et al. Say, this cannot be left. This is a legal process that has to be followed through. Trump was always a rule breaker and appearingly so, allegedly, a lawbreaker. It can't be left. This is unprecedented because apart from Nixon, who had the good sense to resign before he was indicted, and then received a pardon, so there must have been some kind... it was a pardon for future indictments. There's never been a president like Trump. Nixon came a little bit close. The Fool card, new starts, is definitely... I recorded a podcast over the weekend and I'll link it. I'll link it on my community tab. You can find it on... Apple, Spotify, and Podbean and iHeartRadio, all of the major podcast hosters, and that is around, is this the start of a new cycle? It was very clear in my podcast and the reading I did within that podcast that it was, and these cards are showing the same. So we have the crossroads, the Two of Swords in the past. That's why it was so significant for Bragg to bring down this indictment, these 34 counts of whatever's in that indictment. We suspect it's hush money, but and legal experts have said that it's the times that the hush money was falsely accounted for which might make up the number of counts, but we still don't know. In the sky, we have the Eight of Pentacles. So they're working on it. They've got skilled investigators on there. Pardon me. Will he be charged with obstruction of justice? So the Ten of Wands here, that's like it's all over, Rover. It's like just completely, that's it. So clear in these cards that there are skilled people working on this investigation. And so many cards indicate there is a need for it. There was a need. This isn't a furphy. This isn't a political witch hunt. This is about putting up guardrails because what he did or what he's accused of doing is so extreme. But there are new starts and endings in these cards. Now we have the Empress card here. I'm not sure why she comes up. It is my card for Russia. Whenever I read on Trump, this card is never far away. And the Empress, of course, is also abundance, something coming to fruition abundantly in a season of time. But we get the Seven of Wands, so he's having to defend himself. He's having to defend himself against some kind of... Did he sell something to Russia? Did he trade something with Russia? That's one possible scenario. And of course, anyone who says, well, you know, we would have given some of Ukraine to Putin anyway and this war wouldn't have started. Yes, well, anyway, you make your mind up. Ooh, okay, greed, avarice in the hopes and fears. These are not good cards. There's a monetary aspect to this question. So the Hermit card, it's still under investigation here. And we get the World card. Remember I said there's a globe, a world globe that was being put in a cupboard. This is endings, major endings and major beginnings. And the Tower card, January the 6th, but also Tower revisiting on Trump. They've got pretty good evidence that he obstructed justice, and these cards tell me that Trump is going to experience another Tower moment at the hands of Jack Smith, special counsel. There's a lot of regret and loss here. That card keeps coming up. It's not a situation any of us wanted to be in. The Three of Pentacles working together, and the Seven working together, building something, building the case, and the Seven of Swords. Lies, and it's an inevitability that he will get, there's my Ace of Swords, that he gets caught out. He lied that he'd handed back all the documents. That lie is provable. They have to charge him with it. So obstruction of justice is the next indictment, I think, that is going to occur. But it won't be the last. This is the beginning. If you listen to the podcast, one of my viewers said it was an important threshold that had been crossed, and I agree. The Manhattan DA's case is the first domino that begins to fall. So let's have a look. Did he sell any of this information? There was a very elusive paragraph in that Washington Post story that referred to something that he had around documents pertaining to General Milley. What was that all about? Okay, so let's have a look. My goodness, the mind boggles. But then this is a despot. This is a despot. We need to take off the limiters or the blinkers, or any idea that we have that this person is a former president. This person had run foul of the law before he became pregnant. Multiple accused sexual assault and rape, stiffed many of his contractors that worked for him, skirted the law so often before he became president, back even in when his father was alive. His company convicted of tax fraud, tax evasion, as you like me to say, tax and insurance fraud. So let's have a look. So did he sell any of these? Did he sell any of these documents? Did Trump sell any of these? When I say documents, copies. First of all, did Trump make copies of these documents? I'm seeing a worker bee. Eight of Cups, loss, walking away from loss, and the Six of Wands, victory. So this is a victory over his loss. So perhaps still making money off the presidency in some way, even though he's no longer the president. Victory over loss. That's what the cards mean. The Chariot card, quick movement forward, is at the movement forward. Did he copy these documents? Two of Pentacles, walking a high wire act. Well, he's done that all his life. We shouldn't be surprised, really. We shouldn't be surprised that this is unfolding, and we shouldn't be surprised that his MAGA supporters are rallying to his defence, because his base is their base. Four of Wands. So we've got families, reunions, the Democrats. Maybe perhaps to have a leverage over the Democrats. Two of Cups, commitments and contracts. Did he sell anything? Well, there's certainly a contract there with somebody. Let's keep going. Seven of Swords, lying. He's lying about it. Still, the Five of Wands, division, creating the division through the lies. And we get the Ten of Pentacles in the hopes and fears. And finally, the High Priestess, secrets being revealed. Very telling. Temperance and moderation. And the Seven of Wands, having to defend himself. So his secrets are now coming out. And we are moving back toward, this process is, as I said, to quote a viewer, an important threshold that takes us in a new direction. At the base of the pack, King of Cups, there's something around Biden, something around, he wouldn't have done it for just one reason. He would have done it possibly for money, as the cards indicate. There are secrets there. But there's also a leverage over the Democrats as well. Maybe sabotaging their foreign policy. So we have here the Page of Pentacles. And we have the King of Wands and the Devil card. He may have, as I said in previous readings on Did He Sell stuff, this was also leverage. Leverage in case he got into trouble. All right. So I don't get, I get the same kind of cards which indicate not only is there an obstruction of justice, but there could be him acting, not only possibly selling these documents, but acting like an enemy of state in trying to sabotage the current government with it, with these documents in some way. Okay. So let's have a look. Who's listening to the despot? People can't understand why Republicans are defending himself. Look, if there was a pig who was crowned the leader of the Republican Party, at this stage in the divisiveness within the US, they would support a pig, a literal animal pig. Yes, I know that's a ridiculous metaphor. I know that. So they're supporting a despot because he's their leader, because he's on their side. Because not to support him would mean supporting the Democrats. Anyone who thinks there's a quick fix here needs to rethink this, but it is the start of the end. All right. Will further dominoes fall here? Will this be one thing after the next that ruins Trump? Will the dominoes begin to fall and takes out the despot? As I said the other day, cuts the head off the snake. And we'll see what comes next. Obviously, there's still division, but there's not a despot there. Well, I've read on DeSantis. I don't think he's going to be the Republican candidate. But back to Trump. Will the dominoes fall now and see the end of him? Will the dominoes fall and see the end of him? Courts were always going to. The law was always going to catch up to him. So we have the Three of Swords, heartbreak, betrayal, loss. And there's strength. There's strength. The other card is strength covering the loss. So will the dominoes fall? Is this the beginning of the end? The Four of Cups, that's disappointment. It's 3 cups lost, 1 cup remaining. There's always hope when I see the Four of Cups. The Empress card is in the past, yeah. Okay, so this era of subterfuge and collusion with Russia seems to be in the past. We have the Knight of Swords in the sky, the truth emerging, and it's coming very quickly. It has to come quickly. It needs to come quickly. The Page of Wands in the near future, taking a step forward, moving forward again. And I want to stress this isn't going to be quick nor an easy process. It is the crossroads again. First crossroad was him losing the election. This is another crossroad. The Lover's card is in the environment around every one of his supporters, once they see the full force of the indictments and charges and behaviours against this ex-president despot, will need to make a choice. Are they part of the cult, or are they going to choose their country? The Seven of Cups in the sky, choices. It's interesting. This question relies or has a foundation of choice, either good choices or bad choices, and the outcome is the King of Wands. Yes, the courts. That's my signifier card for the courts. The courts were always going to do the job that the politics didn't. The Queen of Wands, King and Queen sitting there. There's both female and male judges involved here. And the Page of Pentacles again. Finances, new starts. Six of Cups, the past. The Four of Swords, retreat, wounded in battle, sometimes even death. The Seven of Wands, having to defend himself. The Five of Wands, the partisanship, division that he's creating. And the Six of Swords, moving out of troubled waters, because we need to come back to what is best for us. The dominoes begin to fall. Five of Swords on the abuse of power. Let's see what their major arcana is. We've manifested this. Finally. And a whole lot is being cleaned up in the process. It is the start of the end for Trump. One last question before I go. And someone asked me also, Boris Johnson, is the UK rid of Boris Johnson? Yes, they are. I predicted that he would resign. Well, actually, he got pushed out, didn't he? And can he find a way back? No, he can't. He's the former leader of the Tory party. He's not going to resurrect his political career. Okay, so Trump's going to speak after the arraignment tomorrow. Is he going to sway independent voters or Republicans that will change their vote, swinging voters I call them, where they swing from one party to the next, and any disenfranchised Democrats? Is Trump able to sway with his violent rhetoric? It's a witch hunt, he's saying. Oh, I'm seeing a coffin being lowered into the ground. Which is death, which is the end of his political fortunes at the end of the day. Okay, so is he going to sway any independent voters? We'll just call them independent or swinging voters with his rhetoric. He might gain ground with some Republicans. The King of Wands, there's a little bit more respect for the courts than what you would think. There's a little bit more respect for the legal process. It's a scary process. It's not a political process. There's some kind of respect for it and moderation. So, no, this extremist enemy of the courts, enemy of the law, is actually going to turn people off. The Six of Wands, we've got victory here as the foundation of the reading. That's what he's hoping for. The Ten of Wands in the past. Too much baggage. It's too heavy. The Three of Swords. Heartbreak and betrayal. Many are going to see this once the full facts and the legal process comes out as seeing as this in the cold light, hard light of day. Six of Wands. Strength card. Yes, he will, as I said, gain more votes within his own party, or more support, because, again, they have to do that. Page of Wands is in the here and now. This is somebody that's seeking to move forward under the burden of this legal accountability. But there's loss here. There's loss. The Ten of Pentacles. Money. There's money involved here. Ten of Pentacles, his business. and the Empress. There's Russia involved. And there's a contract and a commitment. And that commitment, now we've got two major arcanas in the outcome, suspended. So I feel, and I've always felt, that Trump's relationship with Russia will emerge at the end of the day. And there is this betrayal that people will feel as a result, because it's a legal process, not a political one. Three of Cups, circles of support, and the Justice. So many are celebrating. I asked, would the independent voters care? Well, they care about the legal process, and as a result, they're pausing, they're stopping that support. And we get the Three of Cups. Many will be celebrating that justice is being done. The Ten of Cups, families, women, who will be celebrating? The Two of Wands, something coming to fruition in time, because there's guardrails. There's guardrails, the Nine of Wands being put up. No one is above the law. So I think you'll find that independent voters, perhaps swinging voters, are not going to throw their lot behind somebody under indictment or multiple indictments when the legal process and facts and evidence emerges. So let him bark into the microphone after his arraignment. He'll be doing more of that. And yes, it's a test of democracy and a perilous time, but my cards tell me this is the beginning of the end. Okay, thanks for tuning in. Bye for now.